कि रेडियो में आपके गाने बजते ही नहीं है यार. If you don't belong to
Film music.
a film of a high, उसमें एक बंदे का जिम्मेदार नहीं है. The whole system is guilty of buying views and faking subscribers, and तो वो गेम गंदी हो गई है. What are they doing with the songs? Yeah, I don't like, it was the original song. What about the original creators? Yeah. So
Absolutely.
this is how people will dance on those songs, but they will
जी
never respect you.
बिल्कुल.
They will never respect you.
I feel like in Hindi we've been missing you a lot. You've been doing a lot of Kannada songs, in fact, because
Yeah.
in fact, is there a reason? Like, was that a conscious decision? या ऐसे हो गया मतलब?
After the point, you have to just relax, and you can't always be the super ambitious kid that came from Delhi to perform. You have to chill also. And you have to go with the flow. And it so happened that something around in midway something changed. People obviously have their own. Uh, uh, Everybody wants to sing. You see, even music composers understand that to be able to sustain, they have to focus on show business.
Right.
They have to have their own shows. For their own shows, they have to have their own singers.
Yeah.
So if they keep giving me all the best songs, I'm telling you the hardcore truth. You see, this is something which no people won't tell you, but I'm telling you. The truth is, they're not wrong. Suppose XYZ is a composer and XYZ is doing song for films, they'll get a certain amount of money, but not as much money as we get as singers on for stage shows. See? So they might not be able to ever surpass me because I am a performer and I've been in the business, and I'm a little too committed to my craft and everything as a singer, as a performer. But they know that nobody can always keep having Sonu Nigam, so they have to have options.
Yeah.
If they have Sonu Nigam, then up to the next year they won't have somebody else.
Yeah.
So why don't they become that somebody else by giving themselves some songs, or create their own group of people, their people who can attend their concerts. See, because Sonu Nigam is Sonu Nigam, he will not be a part of somebody else's. Who's a how would I say? I'm 30 years old, almost 30 years old in the business, and somebody who's just come. I mean, I can't be a part of his show as his singer. You see,
Yeah.
people won't accept it. People won't accept it because that person has to be higher than me in terms of either seniority
Yeah.
or valuation, whatever. So that happened, and people understood. So they started giving. So they had their own people working with them, which is understandable. Kannada songs happened to me. Just I made no effort. I guess God wanted to connect me karmically to Kannada music. Then the Kannada phase came in 2006 onwards. Yeah, I have really enjoyed singing in Kannada. As much as I've enjoyed singing Hindi songs, I will not. I mean, it could not. It would be less, perhaps more. Kannada songs have been so beautifully composed, and they were tailor-made for me. And people have given me so much love. And I also say that wherever I go in the world, whether I'm in Mauritius or whether I'm in South Africa, whether I'm in America or Australia, even if there is one Kannadiga in the audience shouting for Kannadiga, Kannada, Kannada song, I always make sure that I sing the Mukda of Anisuti Deyako.
How sweet, how sweet. I have to say this because, I have noticed in singers, there's no language barrier as we see maybe in acting or stuff like that. Because singers sing everywhere. And I think you, Sonu ji, and maybe Shreya Ghoshal, whenever you sing in sang in different languages also, your diction also is so clear. Like whether it's Kannada or Malayalam or other things. So I want to know what is the secret? How do you do it? Because they are very, very different languages from Hindi or your mother tongue. So then how do you do it?
I listen to a lot of music. I think it's also about the art of impersonation. You see, like in Hindi also, when we speak, and the language Hindi is also not the same in for every speaker.
True.
Some people would say, "वहाँ मत जाओ, वहाँ शोर मच रहा है." They just cannot say shore.
Right.
And some Bengalis cannot say sir. They say Sonu Nigam. So in Hindi also there are a lot of diction differences. Now the thing is when I do a language, like when I was doing that Jean's song for A.R. Rahman in
Hmm.
1997, then Varayu Tori Vayasana Dori Vai Vittaloti Edi. तो ये गाना था ऐसे, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't remember the lyrics, but I think यही था probably. And when I got the song, I immediately connected the dots, and I saw how Rahman was singing it, and then I remembered how much I've listened to S.P. Balasubramaniam. So once you know the enunciation and the nuances of his singing, आजा शाम ने आई मौसम ने लिया तो किस बात की है लड़ाई. So then you won't be sounding an alien in the Tamil, the person in front of you. And also, all credits have to be given to the people who have taught me also.
Like in the West, for example, like a Beyonce or a Celine Dion or anyone of that sort is considered probably above celebrities of any kind. Yeah, but in India, unfortunately, I feel like the music industry is kind of reduced to just playback singing. Especially, I think the 2010s is when it happened. Probably in the 90s, not so much. But what do you have to say about that?
The basic issue with the film industry and music industry in India is that we do not make films without music. Whereas in Hollywood, a Tom Cruise would not be lip syncing on the voice of Justin Timberlake. You
True,
see?
true.
So over here, and every country has its own beauty, aesthetic. So I don't belittle my country. I don't belittle my culture. It's a culture. The khushbu of Bollywood. Bollywood has its own aesthetics and it is its own. उसकी एक है मजा है चमक है उसकी. पर उसका डिसएडवांटेज म्यूजिक को हुआ है बस सिंगर्स को हुआ है कि रेडियो में आपके गाने बजते ही नहीं है यार. इफ यू डोंट बिलोंग टू
Film music.
फिल्म ऑफ अ हाई ऑर्डर या किसी अच्छी म्यूजिक कंपनी का आपको अगर पुश नहीं है या and music companies are basically film music companies, you see.
Yeah.
They come out with singles these days gradually. Now thankfully they're coming out, but आप तो सुन चुके हैं कि व्यूज कैसे आते हैं आजकल. आपको तो पता ही है. ये तो
Yeah.
आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इनटू इट, बट उसमें एक बंदे का जिम्मेदार नहीं है. द होल सिस्टम इज गिल्टी ऑफ बाइंग व्यूज एंड फेकिंग सब्सक्राइबर्स. तो वो गेम गंदी हो गई है. तो उसमें इंडिपेंडेंट म्यूजिक बढ़ तो रहा है बट क्वालिटी पे हम क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा सकते हैं. सो just then radios will decide to take the command in their own hands. The day, you mark my words, the day radios are free of the patronization of music companies, then India will see the rise of independent music. आप देखना, mark my words.
Absolutely. I really hope so. And another thing that's been, I feel like, plaguing our music industry, for at least for us music lovers and fans, is we are back with the era of remixes versus the original. I don't think there are hardly, I think in 2019, there were hardly any original songs made. Hardly. Even for whether it's film, singles, anything. What do you have to say about that, Sonuji? Do you think like original compositions are like dying out, or people are more hungry towards views that they just want views and nothing else?
हाँ, इसका एक ही आंसर है. That word is called moderation. Moderation. कुछ चीज मॉडरेशन में आती है, अच्छी लगती है. I am not against remixes at all.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we can tell people कि यार ये क्या है, पुराने लोग ऐसे थे, अभी के लोग क्या हैं. I don't believe in that whole doctrine of talking condescendingly about the younger people or the younger. अभी का बिजनेस खराब है. नहीं, बिजनेस खराब नहीं है. बिजनेस चलाने वाले कभी कभी मॉडरेशन भूल के एक्सट्रीमिज्म पे आ जाते हैं. अब कम जैसे चुरा लिया है तुमने जो दिल को, आशा बाई का गाना था, जब एक बार बारिश अबू लेकर आया था, तो it was a new fresh thing. I liked it. Even Aankh Mare, I think the track is amazing. I don't know, I can't comment about the singing part, but the track is amazing. The way the song starts, Tanish Bakshi has done a great job. So moderation में आए ना अगर तो सब चीज अच्छी होती है. But if you make it a blatant naked dance of which of lust and complete disregard for the original composer, the original writer, the original performer, the original singer, you have no regard for them at all. You're taking a song written by Javed Akhtar and then taking that song, which is perhaps like somebody's Bible, and you are adding some other lyrics to it, and you are putting a new guy's name with Javed Akhtar or somebody or Anand Bakshi or Sameer Ji or whatever. That I think to some extent can work. It's fine, but when you do it, it looks like somebody is slapping in your face. So then it becomes very personal. Then artists fraternity feel that they are being insulted, and mind it, it's the audience that eventually gives the feedback. They might be watching it, they might be dancing to it, but they are the ones who will keep discussing in their parties and societies, and what is happening to music, yeah, what are they doing with the songs, yeah, I don't like, it was the original song, what about the original creators, yeah. So this
Absolutely.
is how people will dance on those songs, but they will
जी
never respect you. They
बिल्कुल.
will never respect you. So इसलिए it's important to be in moderation. चुराओ, कम चुराओ, कुछ अपना भी बनाओ,
Yeah.
क्योंकि भविष्य में जो चोर निकलेंगे उनको नए गाने भी तो चाहिए होंगे ना, उनको भी तो कुछ पुराने गाने चाहिए होंगे चुराने के लिए. कम से कम भविष्य के लिए कुछ गाने बना दो ताकि वो भी चुरा सके.
True, very true. Thank you so much, Sonuji. It was a pleasure talking
Thank
to
you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And hope we get to hear lots and lots more of your songs.
Thank you very much for that. That's it.
Bye.